Hello, wholesome humans, and welcome back to another episode of the Ash Gracie podcast. I know, it's been a while. It's been a hot minute since I've recorded an episode for y'all, but we are back. We're thriving. It's the new year. We're all back in business, and today I want to talk about just the reality of life and the reality of taking breaks and coming back to work, as I like to call it, back in business. And it's this whole element of taking a step away of everything that you feel contributes to who you are as a person, and being able to come back to that position in a new view and a new light, because it's not often that we get the opportunity to take a step away from the business that we do and our day-to-day lives and the things that make us who we are, and get to see that in a new perspective after pulling away from it 100%. And obviously there is no solid time that you have to make a start. There's never a solid time that you must have some new goals, have some new resolutions. Birthdays and New Year's are very typical in that sense, where it's the start of a new year, start of a new period in your life. Therefore, you need to make some changes. And honestly, that's not the way the world works, because that's not how every single person has to function. And that's just a fact. And in line with this whole being back to business and this busyness of time, which I'll get into, I am recording this as I walk somewhere because I'm busy, and therefore you will be able to hear the traffic and the cars in the background. Why? Because I know what I'm doing, I know what I want to do, I know the things that are important to me in life, and I am making sure to do all those things. And of course, I'm spending time on the content that I'm producing, but I'm not letting that take away from my day-to-day life and the things that I want to achieve while in this period of time in my life. And therefore, being able to take a step back, at least for me, has allowed me to really understand the reasons why I do what I do. For example, when it comes to theater and stage management, a lot of you know that that's a really big part of my life and something that I've been doing for a while. And whenever there's an opportunity, I will jump on it. Do I do it a bit too much? Maybe. But that is not the point. The point is that even though that's something I've always loved to do, before it almost got to a point where I was just immersed in it 24/7, that it took me a lot of time and honestly a lot of space away from it to realize just how much I loved it. So being able to come back after the new year and jump straight into a new project really gave me the opportunity to dive in with a fresh perspective, being excited for the project and actually understanding why I enjoyed it and what I was there to do. It gave me a purpose, it gave me a reason as to why I do what I do and why I enjoy things the way that I do. And I think that taking a step back from not just what you do career-wise, but also the environment you're in, the way that you function as a person, features about who you are, whether that's part of your personality or different characteristics about who you are, you're able to take time and learn more about those things. And something that I've noticed, especially over the past few weeks while being away, is that having a separation from your day-to-day life, although you may not be doing conscious research and learning into yourself. You might not be diving deep into yourself and learning about the psychology of who you are and whatever. My point is that you don't have to do that in order to learn more about yourself. And I actually think that not doing that and not intentionally doing that is something that will teach you even more about yourself than you could ever learn. Why? Because the biggest learning lessons, I think, are the ones that, not the ones that you search for, but the ones that come to you naturally. Because when you search for something, you are finding a particular answer, and if it sounds right, you're gonna go with it, because that's how things work. If you have a question, you're looking for an answer that you can comprehend. As long as you comprehend it, you will accept it. But when it comes to lessons and solutions and answers that you're not necessarily looking for, if you're not trying to answer a specific question, then when your understanding comes to you, it will be in a way that you not only understand, but can accept, because everything makes sense to you from the beginning. It's not something you're searching for, it's something that appears to you in a way through your experiences in which you can truly learn from it. And so being able to step back, for example, at least for my case, is I've always known that travel has been a big part of my life, and being able to step away from my day-to-day work in school and theater and everything that I do here at UCLA, being able to take a step back and really indulge in the aspect of myself that loves travel, I was really able to understand qualities about myself that I gain from the things I do in theater and the things that I do when it comes to travel. And it just made me feel more whole and more complete as a human being. In that sense, it gave me the ability to better understand myself and the things that I do and the traits that I have by honing into other elements of who I am and what I enjoy. And so that's something that I want to challenge you to do. While we're all kind of getting back into the new year, getting back to business, doing what we always do, hone into something that you enjoy and that is a part of who you are, that you might not get to really indulge in often, or you might not really get to enjoy as much as you could, because humans are complex. There is no one right answer when it comes to who we are, what we do, what we enjoy, any of that. There's always different complexities about who we are and what makes up our identities, and just how different characteristics combine into us becoming the people that we are today, and the people that we were yesterday, and the people that we will be tomorrow. Because at the end of the day, life is all about having experiences, learning from those experiences, and growing from them. And that's what builds our character as people and forms us to be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And that will never stop, because as much as we always say that there is a best version of ourselves that we can be, we will always keep getting better. And so there is no best. There is just improvement and growth and becoming fulfilled by expanding our horizons in terms of who we are, what we do, and what we love. Because at the end of the day, that's what makes us human. And on that note, that is where we're going to wrap up for today. So I hope that you have all had a wonderful new year and a wonderful start to 2023. And don't forget that you are amazing, you are loved, and as always, I thank you for being here.